Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of the PokerGO Podcast. My name is Donnie Peters. His name, without the sleeves, is Tim Duckworth. What happened to your sleeves, buddy?
I was running errands before he came. I was going to go for a run.
You go out
errands.
in public like that?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. It's Costco. It's fine. And I was like, whatever. We're recording a pod. I can go with the tank.
If I saw you like that at Costco, I would say, who is this tool bag? That's what I would say. I would say, who is this tool bag with
What's
no
wrong with the
sleeves
tank
on?
top?
I don't know. It's just, it's just kind of a thing. I don't know. It's just a thing. I would think you were a tool bag. I don't really know what's wrong with it. It just makes me feel like you're a tool bag.
Got it.
That's just how it is. All right. This episode, I'm basically going to give in to Tim. Okay. Just so everyone knows. All this guy wants to talk about is PGT, PGT, PGT. And I'm like, it's boring, it's boring, it's boring. I can't talk about schedules, events, dates. It just drives me nuts. So we're putting my twist on it. Okay? We're going to have some freaking fun with this one, whether you like it or not. I hope you came prepared.
No.
If not, I mean, that's your own fault. You're only making yourself look bad, okay? And it's fine because you're making me look better. No big deal. So we're going to have some fun with some PGT talk. Of course, the second half of the PGT season is about to kick off. It is Thursday, August 28th. It is 4:09 p.m. The second half of the season, or what we deem as the second half of the season, kicks off on Monday, September 1st. So right around the corner from here. This will probably drop at some point over the weekend. So, you guys should have it in your feeds, on your YouTube channels, or on your YouTube screens, of course, before that first event for the PGT Bounty Blitz, the first ever PGT Bounty Blitz. So, yeah, I talked about the stuff that Tim wants to talk about, which is the boring, non-exciting stuff. It's just whatever. I can't stand it. So what we're going to do is this guy has been putting out lists on social media, on PGT.com, talking about the PGT's all-time point earners, final tables, cashes, earnings. Well, I don't even know. He's got a whole bunch of stuff that's been going out there. So I don't know if I talked about it on this podcast or if we talked about it off air, but I said at some point I want to do like poker players and match them with wrestlers.
I think it was on the pod.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to do it right now because why the heck not? I got to have some fun with it. We got to have some sort of gimmick. So this is what we're doing. We're going to take these PGT guys, these players, these like all-time greats per the PGT stats, and then we're going to match them with a wrestler. And we're going to make the case as to like why this is this person's wrestling alter ego. There's no really right or wrong. We might tell each other that we're right or wrong, and it's ridiculous. But the whole thing is... How many
do you think we get
the whole thing is ridiculous.
How many are we doing?
So we have 8 names that we're going to run through. And we're going to assign them a wrestler. I'll say we get 4.
Well, that's
the
a
same.
I'll take on this.
For sure. We'll see. I mean, some are, I think, probably going to be spot on. Some are going to be just...
Lucha Libre wrestlers.
Well, then you're just weird. Some are going to be probably quite outrageous. But again, it's the whole point of it. We're just going to have some fun with this one. And then, of course, I will keep Tim happy. I will let him run through the schedule, the dates, the buy-ins, all that sort of nonsense, the boring stuff. But we're going to keep that to the end of the pod. Also, on this episode, we're going to do a little PGT fantasy because we like going against each other. So why the heck not? So that's going to be on this episode as well. If you're listening, hit the favorite button, subscribe to it, leave a review, whatever you got to do, 5 stars, all that good stuff. It does help us grow. And of course, if you leave a review, send it on into podcast@pokergo.com so we can see it. We can possibly read it on air. I feel like the reviews have been lacking coming through the inbox. So let's get on it, people. I know Tim did a really good job of reaching out to a lot of people to get them hats via the email. So let's freaking go, people. Leave us a goddamn review already. Come on. And then if you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment as well. We are not scared of the comments. At least I go in and read them all the time. And they are, of course, a lot of fun. Got to tell you about a new promotion in partnership with PlayPokerGO because we are teaming up with them to give you guys the chance of a lifetime. And it is completely and entirely free. All you got to do is go to playpokergo.com or you can download the app on iOS and Android. Just do that between now and December 10th of this year. Create an account. It's free. And play just one hand of poker. Okay, if you have an account already with PlayPokerGO, then just play one hand of poker between now and December 10th. That gets you automatically entered into a giveaway to win a Dream Seat. The Dream Seat gets you a seat into the PGT $1 Million Championship. So a single hand of poker could mean you are in the $1 Million Championship playing for a $500,000 first place prize. Let's freaking go. Of course, no purchase necessary, 21 or older. It is US only, so sorry for all the internationals out there, but those are the rules. Full rules and details can be found at pokergo.com/rules. All right, are you ready? Are you prepared?
No, but
of course you're not prepared.
I'm prepared. I just want to say that if we had done, say, the Mount Rushmore of poker players for this, or like the non-PGT guys, there's a lot better comparisons.
Sure, there is, but
Yeah.
I
So this is much
wanted
harder.
to bring it all PGT.
I know,
because
I
you
get
wanted
it.
to talk PGT,
It's
so I was
much
like, you know what,
harder.
we'll just do PGT stuff.
So, okay. I was trying to think, okay, could I find people that look the same? That's tough.
I mean, sure.
So I went a different way.
Okay. Well, first things first, I do want to talk about some of these leaderboards because we are entering the second half of the season. So, and this is kind of how we're going to determine the 8 people that we're going to talk about. So, PGT all-time points leaders are Stephen Chidwick is number 1 with 9,796. Alex Foxen is second. Pretty close, 9,528. Then there's a little bit of a gap between Foxen and Sam Soverel is number 3. Daniel Negreanu is number 4, and Jeremy Ausmus is number 5. I think I was a little surprised to see Ausmus is high here because I feel like he got a later start to his PGT success than some of these other guys. I thought I would see maybe Sean Winter or Nick Schulman be up in the top 5, but they're not. But they're close, but they're not in the top 5.
I was surprised that Alex Foxen was as high as he was, actually. That kind of was a bit of a shock to me.
I wasn't, but that's because I had surprise as it relates to Alex Foxen, like before looking at some PGT stuff, like a year or two ago, and I was like, wow, he like crushes the PGT all the time. So I'm like, I'm never surprised, right? So for all-time cashes, you got Alex Foxen at 98. Again, Alex Foxen in the lead there. You got Negreanu right behind him at 97. Stephen Chidwick's at 93. Sam Soverel's at 92, and Jeremy Ausmus is also at 92. So pretty soon, we're going to have some people getting to 100.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen at this next series coming up, the PGT Bounty Blitz.
Should also mention, we're pretty close with Chidwick, 10,000 PGT points.
Yeah,
So.
I feel like you should get some nice plaques. You know, like when like you hit a certain milestone, like 100,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel,
get a plaque.
You should get one of those.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure we can get that approved budget-wise, but that would be badass to like hand out and present. We should look into that. You know, you should do it for 100 cashes. You should do it for 10,000 points. I think that would be cool. For all-time wins, Sam Soverel, 12, Daniel Negreanu, 11, Stephen Chidwick, 10, Alex Foxen, 9, and then you have a batch of players, 4 of them to be exact, tied with 8. Chris Brewer, Michael Adamo, Sean Perry, and Justin Bonomo. And you're probably kind of sensing a theme here now. Chidwick, Foxen, Soverel, Negreanu, Ausmus, you know, they're like the guys right now. And then for earnings, you got Seth Davies is number 1.
Yeah.
He's been crushing the super high rollers as of late. Alex Foxen, very, very close. Stephen Chidwick, Jason Koon, and Chris Brewer. So I think there I'm a bit surprised to see or to not see Daniel Negreanu.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Especially when you consider Negreanu won a super high roller bowl. It's not like he doesn't have those insane wins. No, he did win a super high roller bowl. So I'm a little bit surprised not to see D-Negs there, but you know, he's not too far off at all. And then Seth Davies just crushes here. His number is 18,924,000. So, I mean, he could easily get to 20 million pretty soon. So, another cool thing. So, from the list of points, cashes, wins, and earnings, here are the names that I pulled out for us to do the wrestler comparison.
Got it.
Stephen Chidwick. He's on every single list that I just named, right?
Yeah.
Alex Foxen is also on every list that we just went through. Sam Soverel, he's not on the earnings list,
he's not.
but he's on the other ones. Still, he's a great. Negreanu is not on the earnings list, as I just talked about, but he's on the other ones. Jeremy Ausmus, also not on the earnings list. He's also not on the wins list, which I'm a little bit surprised to see. But
you forgot one list, which was my favorite, which is podiums. He's on the podiums.
No, I'm
You don't like podiums?
I'm not doing that nonsense. No,
Have a final
this is,
tables.
we don't here. Listen, we're not like the Summerlin Little League baseball team celebrating second place finishes.
Wait, didn't they win? I
That's
thought they
not what
won.
we do. Okay. For everyone out there that needs to know, like you, who was wrong.
Following.
Yeah, because you probably saw a parade and you're like, oh, they won. They didn't win shit. Okay, you want to know what they won? They won like the United States part of the bracket.
That's awesome.
Is what they won. No, it's not, because the Little League World Series
but they're the best
means
in the country.
world, and they lost to Chinese Taipei.
Well,
okay?
as they should.
So that's what happened.
Okay.
They did not win. They ultimately got second place, and we're out here passing our participation trophies.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. It's not parade worthy good. It's just not. That's just not how it is. Okay, you got to keep the kids hungry.
Do you get a medal?
I don't care what they get. They got a freaking parade. They should not get anything.
Parade's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Who did I just talk about? Oh, Jeremy Ausmus. Seth Davies. We're going to use him. We're going to use Jason Koon as well. And then Chris Brewer. So those are the 8 that we're going to go through. How do you want to do it? Do you want to just go like 1-1? Like what?
Well, yeah, sure. Why don't we just work down the list? That's fine.
Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go.
Are you going to random number generate?
Yes.
Okay.
Random number generator, baby. 1 through 8. Number 8, Chris Brewer.
God,
who you got?
That was the one I left to last, and I kind of gave up on.
I also left it to last.
Yeah, I went in the order, and the problem with Chris Brewer is I couldn't really think of a good comparison because I was thinking you kind of get doesn't play a whole ton of volume, plays the big stuff. Sometimes he's all in, sometimes he's all. I couldn't really think of the rest. And the thing that kept coming to me was I recently uploaded Super High Rollerball episodes, old ones. And it was the time when Chris Brewer was growing out his mullet. And all I could think about was his mullet. And I was struggling, like what kind of, who could I give him? Seth Rollins? I couldn't think of a good one. And I just gave in to the looks. And I kept in the back of my head, I kept seeing one wrestler. And it's not an insult at all to Chris Brewer about anything or the rest I'm going to name. I couldn't stop seeing Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh my God.
Now, I'll admit.
I had no idea you were going to go Hacksaw Jim Duggan here.
There was a little bit
maybe me saying 4 of the same might be way over.
There was a little bit of, remember Val Venus when he had the mullet? Yeah. And he had the towel? There was a little bit of Sid Vicious in there.
When you started talking about the mullet, I thought you were going to go
Razor Ramon?
No, Dusty Rhodes.
Nah.
No. Kind of a mullet though.
Yeah,
like, I just thought that's where you were ultimately going to go.
The mullet. And obviously you have to be the brown blonde, so you have to rule out Eddie Guerrero, Dominic Mysterio, all those kind of guys. But no offense to you, Chris. No offense to Hacksaw. But that's all. I couldn't get the comparison out of my mind. So that is Chris Brewer's alter ego to me.
All right. I mean, listen, you make the case. That's the whole point of this.
Yeah.
I went with, now this one, if you're going to talk about looks, and I put down a bunch of notes with this. I said, the look of these two, if you were to put them next to each other, is not going to be like a thing. Like you're going to be like, why does this apply? And I went with CM Punk.
Okay.
Now, my reasoning is this. I don't really think that either of them look like a stereotypical star, right? But I think their mindsets, like I think, and watching, what was the WWE like mini docuseries that just came out? I forget what the hell it was called, but I don't know. I got a bit of like cerebral mindset, like studied about CM Punk that I may necessarily not have known, which I think Brewer is obviously one of the most elite minds in the game, like, extremely studied, commitment to the game, all that sort of stuff. Punk is, I think, always been one of the best in the world. Maybe doesn't have like that popularity or that notoriety that some other people would, but, and they went through this in that whole like mini docuseries. Look up the freaking name of that before I lose my mind. Where basically like all he wanted was like his
Unreal.
He wanted his, and it's on Netflix for everyone who likes wrestling.
Fantastic.
Highly encourage you to check it out. Even if you're on the fringe, I would highly encourage you to check it out because I think it's very well done. But Punk was always that guy who like, and he talked about it there, where like he wanted his shot. He wanted his big moment, right? For Brewer, you had a lot of that where like he was so close so often in so many big spots, and it just never worked out. Like bad beats, whatever it may be, it just ultimately never worked out. For Punk, remember he like got out of poker, got out of wrestling. Like he like literally got out of wrestling for like he like quote unquote retired for like years.
Well,
Brewer
he went
and get a real job.
Yeah,
like got out of poker.
That didn't last long.
Well, okay, yeah, but whatever.
I hear what you're saying.
Punk came back.
Yeah, I see that.
Punk came back and got his spotlight at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Brewer came back and immediately started to win everything under the sun and took off.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, capped off by the 250K super high roller win at the WSOP.
Yep.
So like, there's that parallels there. You know, so that's where I went with this. You know, where there's that kind of parallel to things. So that's how I thought about this one, and that's where I am with Chris Brewer. So Chris Brewer is CM Punk for me, and he is Hacksaw Jim Duggan for you, which is absolutely incredible. All right, next random number generate here. 7, Jason Koon, baby.
I struggled with him too.
Struggle? This was snap obvious to me.
Why don't you go first then?
All right, The Rock.
No.
What?
No.
Okay.
I'll count. You break it down, I'll count.
Peak physical form.
Sure, yeah, I'll give you that.
Both these guys are absolutely freaking chiseled out of their minds.
Yep,
they love fitness. I don't know how many freaking Instagram stories I've seen with The Rock in this gym.
Yep, I'll give you that.
We know Jason as well as all about the gym and health and fitness, and he's absolutely shredded and all that sort of stuff. There's that. Former athlete derailed by injury. The Rock in college had all those injuries with football. I think Jason Koon, it was track, and I think it was a hip. Yeah, I think it was a hip. So either way, former athlete derailed by injury. The Rock. Let me hit on this part first. I think kind of like bigger than life personalities. When it comes to wrestling, the Rock is certainly bigger than life. When it comes to poker, I think Jason Koon is kind of like low key, bigger than life. He's very charismatic. You might not think it because he's not always in the spotlight, Jason Koon. But like as soon as you put a camera in his face, says the right things, very personable, like all that sort of stuff. Maybe he's not as big as Daniel Negreanu, but again, if you stick the spotlight on Jason Koon, if you put a camera on him, if you put a microphone in front of him, he certainly in no way, shape, or form does he seem out of place. I also got, and Tim is looking at the picture right now without me even saying this, but I thought of that photo from Jason Koon. What event is that?
That's
Super High
Rollable PLO. Yeah.
Where he looks like The Rock does now with this whole end boss look.
Yeah.
Like the end boss of a drug cartel. I mean, it's just crazy.
We'll get producer Rich to put it up.
Now, I'll also say that The Rock, right now, The Rock does not pop into wrestling all that often.
Yeah,
he doesn't do the Raws and all this other stuff. Jason Koon, he's not getting out for the Raw $10,000 PGT event. No, he's super high rollable WrestleMania. That's it.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, and that's my thing. Like, you need the big dog to come in. You call The Rock. Right? There's a 50K. Okay, Jason Koon's there. 100K. Boom, he's there. So that's my sort of like, he's certainly a star, but he's not always there. Like Negreanu's always there.
Got it.
Like he's there no matter what. I mean, yeah, Negreanu might skip the 5Ks, yes, but Koon is like, no, it's got to be big enough. The draw has to be attractive enough for me to come. And to me, that's Jason Koon. And then at the end of the day, I think a lot of people, like I know we throw around the whole end boss thing. I mean, The Rock in a way is like he's got the whole end boss thing, like at least right now for sure.
Yeah.
Jason Koon is the fucking end boss. I mean, come on, he is the end boss of end bosses. So that's my guy. The Rock is Jason Koon.
A lot of things you brought up, I agree with, but you got to remember this, Dwayne. If you're listening at home, you quit on us. You quit on the wrestling fans. You left us.
I thought you were going to say he quit on the PGT, and I was like, what are you talking about?
You quit on us to go make Hollywood movies like The Tooth Fairy, great movie, but. You quit on us. Jason Koon hasn't quit on us. Okay?
I don't know.
So that's why I couldn't give him The Rock. Now, one person...
I could argue Jason Koon did quit.
I kind of want to change my pick, but I'm not going to. But when you said The Undertaker, it's...
When did I say Undertaker?
Sorry, when you said... no, when you're talking about how he only comes out for like the big moments, that I immediately thought of The Undertaker, right? Because, Vince would only use him for like WrestleMania spot and some other spots. You could kind of give Jason Koon like that kind of thing. But with the glasses, when I see these glasses, when I was doing, episodes the other week of Super High Rollerball, all I could think of was, who has the best glasses in WWE history? Do you know who that is? Who has the most iconic pair of sunglasses? I know he's on your list because I saw his name.
I'm blanking.
Bret the Hitman
for
Hart.
Sure. Yeah.
Best glass. Got the wraparound purple shades. That's what I thought of. And then I started thinking a little bit more about Bret Hart, right? fan favorite, without a doubt. 100% fan favorite. Jason Koon, fan favorite. Jason Koon, probably one of the most studied poker players, most technically perfect poker player out there. What was Bret Hart? Same when it came to wrestling. Technically proficient, submission moves, one of the best wrestlers of all time. And although we're throwing it back a little bit, we're talking about WWE days, WCW here with Bret the Hitman Hart. That to me was where I drew the comparison. Jason Koon, Bret the Hitman Hart, won world titles. He's obviously won a bunch of stuff. And that's my.
Don't hate it.
Yeah,
but Jason Koon is bigger than Bret the Hitman Hart, in my opinion.
I do I would want to try and work the Undertaker, because although he was a heel, everyone loved him. He's got this villain look. Jason Koon comes out for the big ones, just like Undertaker did. It's not enough for me. I'm still going to stick with Hitman.
All right. RNG 5. Jeremy Ausmus.
I'll take this one first.
All right, go ahead.
Jeremy Ausmus has no comp, right? Like nothing.
God, here we go.
Right? No hair. I can't do it. He's just kind of an everyday.
You really leaned into the whole everyday physical
guy.
look.
Yeah, because that's the first one. I wait till we get to some other guy. But I thought about Jeremy Ausmus a bit more. You kind of touched on someone like Daniel Negreanu, plays all our events. Jeremy Ausmus, one of the highest volume players. Plays PLO, plays No Limit, plays mix. He'll play a 5K. He'll play a 300K. He's a workhorse. So I started thinking, who are the workhorses of the WWE? Right now you talk about, Seth Rollins, okay? Workhorse. But Seth Rollins a little bit of a heel, right? A little bit of a, little bit of heat at the moment. So you have to think good guys, right? The good guy, and he's also a dad, has some kids at home. So what wrestler, good guy, loved by everyone, has some kids at home?
I'm really thinking this might be the first one we have that's the same, but let's see where you go.
Workhorse, plays everything, fan favorite, not dislike. He can also be part of any main event, right? Jeremy Ausmus will play everything. You might see him at the 300K final table. You might see him at a 3K final table. Just like this wrestler, he can main event WrestleMania, right? Or he can be the first match on Raw. That is Daniel Bryan.
Wow.
No, I did not tell you. We're not going to match.
No.
So Daniel Bryan.
At first I thought it was who I have.
Okay.
Then I thought it was the guy I was possibly debating, and it's neither of those.
Okay.
It's Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, he's won the World Championship 4 times. Ausmus, we talked about the wins. He's not up there. He's not on he doesn't have 12 like Sam Soverel. He has a few. We talked about his cold streak of winning. But Daniel Bryan, there was a long storyline with Triple H and all these guys before he got his moment at WrestleMania. And that's my comparison. Jeremy Ausmus, Daniel Bryan.
All right. I went with the most popular babyface in all of wrestling right now, and that's Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
And to me, Jeremy Ausmus is the babyface of poker. A total good guy. He's got the looks. He's a family man. He's resilient, which I think parallels well with Cody Rhodes. One of the things specifically, and I've talked about this, about when we drafted Jeremy Ausmus for 25K fantasy, is always showing up with a smile on his face no matter what's going on. I feel like Cody Rhodes is always kind of showing up with a smile on his face, gets that respect from his peers no matter what. Honest, likable. You got the clean cut aspect.
Clean cut. He's got a skull tattooed on his neck.
Yeah, but still,
he has that.
Jeremy
Ausmus ain't going to be walking around with a skull tattoo on his head.
He's still a baby face.
Okay.
So the skull on the neck for Cody Rhodes, I would liken to the fact that people have told me that they are in group chats with Jeremy Ausmus, and he is the most ruthless one in the group chat, which you might not think, right? You might not on the surface, baby face, but behind closed doors, he's coming at you, with razor blades. So I also think that, Cody Rhodes, he was grinding. And then it wasn't until more recently, he got back into WWE. He did the whole finish the story thing at WrestleMania, whatnot. I mean, Jeremy Ausmus for a very long time was grinder. Kind of no one knew who he was. And then he finally had the breakout. I mean, you can kind of go two ways with this breakout because he kind of had 2 breakouts in a weird career way. One was the WC Main Event Final Table, right?
Yeah.
But then after that,
so that's Stardust.
Then after that, he's a name. Yeah. But then he started to take to the high roller scene. And then he started to really break out again, in a way, or become more popular and more out there. Okay. So that's why I have I have Jeremy Ausmus is Cody Rhodes.
Can I pick the next number?
No, we're doing random number generator. What is wrong with you? 6.
That was the one I was going to pick.
There you go, Seth
The
Davies.
main reason I wanted to say it's Seth Davies, and that's who I have as Cody Rhodes. Okay. Now, the way I have it, what you said all makes sense. The way I see Cody Rhodes is, family man, Seth Davies, family man. Cody Rhodes is the number one at the company right now. He's been brought back. He ascended to the top. He's ascended down. He's in all the main event storylines, and I think these last 18 months, he has been, the number one star on WWE. I guess you could say, maybe paired with Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, but Cody Rhodes, number one guy. Who's had the biggest 18 months on the PGT? Seth Davies.
Seth Davies, for sure.
So that was the comp I had. I was looking at results and storylines. What is Seth Davies' storylines of the last 18 months? Won the 25K PGT PLO series. He won the Super High Roller Bowl in Cyprus. He won the Super High Roller Bowl PLO here. He won the 250K at the World Series and his first bracelet. 4 of the, say, top 10 biggest events on the PGT, he's won in his last 18 months. Well, really, in his last, 13 months or whatever it is. So that was where I saw the symmetry with Cody Rhodes and Seth Davies.
All right. I mean, I can totally see it. I went with John Cena. Here's why. So I'm looking at Seth Davies, and I was like, he's out of this group of 8 that we have. I said, he's got the most bro energy about him. And I was like, John Cena's the bro guy. Like he's the bro. So that's why I immediately went to Cena. I also know that Seth Davies is very like fitness driven, especially much more recently in his life. Cena has always been very fitness driven.
Yep.
It's actually, why he's kind of like leaving wrestling, because he feels like he's, he can't take it much more health wise. So he's like, I'm not just going to stick around till I'm like 60. So, I think Cena does value his health in the same sort of way that Davies values his health. Now, the tug of war that I was kind of playing here is that maybe Davies isn't as much of a big name personality in poker as John Cena is in wrestling, but then I say Cena's always had this never give up mentality. He's like this fan favorite, never give up, all that sort of stuff, where I feel like Davies has just been like never give up. And I think that was emphasized if you guys saw the winner interview that we did with him after he won the bracelet this summer, like kind of getting into like that never give up mentality. And even like at the start of the interview, at the start of the video, when Jason Koon's talking about, he's just grinding every single day, grinding, because they're really good friends. So, I don't know. I feel like the never give up mentality really fits well here. And then, finally, as it relates to Seth Davies, you spoke on like his last, 1 to 2 years. It's all just, he's had all these massive wins, and it's all just really come together. Yeah. So yeah. I also think that Cena has always just been incredibly consistent. Now in poker, that's a bit tricky because you can be consistent, but you might not win because there's variance and there is some luck involved. So it is what it is. But I still think generally every single day when Seth Davies shows up, what you're going to get like from a competition standpoint.
Yeah.
Right. So, I saw that parallel as well. Another thing that I kind of did some tug of war with in my mind, but maybe I'm a stretch here, is that, and I used to be kind of like an anti-Cena guy. I just didn't really like him, but I feel like, I think there's a fair number of people out there that like absolutely love John Cena, and that's probably the bigger number. But then there are people that are kind of like, this guy's a tool in some ways. I mean, who's this guy running around there with jean shorts and this and that and the other thing? Like, I mean, kind of like that bro mentality. Like if you don't like that, it can kind of maybe rub you the wrong way a little bit. So I feel like with Davies, how I would parallel that is people might look at Davies and be like, well, he's not even a big name. Not that they don't like Seth Davies. They just be like, who is that? So that's how I, reconciled it in my mind, the similarity and that sort of split. So I went with a John Cena here for Seth Davies.
You said, I want to go back a bit to Ausmus. You said you had Cody Rhodes and someone else. Who else do you have?
AJ Styles. Oh. That's what I thought you were going to, when you started talking about it. Okay. First, I thought you were for sure going to go Cody Rhodes. And I thought, okay, maybe he goes AJ Styles here. Well, we already did number 5. 3. Sam Soverel. I love this one. Go ahead.
He's the only heel.
We haven't matched on any. Okay.
Okay. And I know we're not going to match on a couple already coming up. I view of this list, I love all these guys. He would be the closest to being a heel with, maybe not in public, but just some of his antics around the studio, right? So I had to find someone that was a little heelish, but also has won a lot, right? He's got 12 PGT titles. He leads that category. He's one of the highest volume players. You'll find him in a 300K. You'll find him in a 5K. So kind of similar to how I had Daniel Bryan for Jeremy Ausmus. I need to find someone Daniel Bryan-esque, but a bad guy.
Okay.
So I had to look, I actually pulled up Wikipedia and I went down I was looking down how many titles people had won to try and find someone that's won a lot of WWE World Championships, but there was also a bad guy. And one name reigned supreme. Randy Orton.
Okay.
So outside of that comp, a little heelish. Obviously, Randy Orton has been a good guy, but I would say career is very heelish. Put him on the main stage. Can play, just like Sam can play everything. Randy Orton, he's been a doubles champ. He's been IC champ. He's been the world champ, the heavyweight champ. He's done it all. Lots of wins. That was my comp there. Sam Soverel to Randy Orton.
All right. I went with Eddie Guerrero. And like you kind of started off saying, like the antics. I really wanted to find someone.
Lie, cheat, and steal, baby.
Okay. So now I'm not saying that, and that's like a famous line, the walkout song or whatever for Eddie Guerrero. I'm not saying that Soverel is like lying, cheating, and stealing. Okay. But like some of his antics, I mean, like work with me on this part. When he plays, like he's like grabbing the muck, he's like folding his cards on top of your card. Like he's acting like a fool in a lot of ways. It's playful, it's mischievous, but he's also very skilled and dangerous. Mm-hmm. So like that's where I say like the lie, cheat, and steal stuff. Like that's kind of where I'm at with the Eddie Guerrero. And Eddie Guerrero, like he may not have the world titles, but he won lots of belts and whatnot. So he
won it once.
Yeah. So there's also when I was like, okay, I like where this aligns. Let me do a little bit more research. And then there's a quote from Eddie Guerrero about how he viewed wrestling as therapy for him. Which immediately I was like, oh, well, there's this Sam Soverel Facebook post that I remember reading from, a year or two ago in 2024 where he talked about, he was pretty open. It was a very long post. He talked about how he long used like games, gambling, addiction, all this sort of stuff to like escape trauma, and I'm very, succinctly summarizing the whole thing. And now he's like focused on health, presence, meaningful connections and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, he still has that silliness and whatnot. So I kind of like had those parallels there, So, on one hand, you've got Guerrero is his charisma, I think parallels Sam Soverel's charisma in terms of like the table antics and all that sort of stuff. And then you also got the therapy comment or metaphor from Guerrero paralleling Sam Soverel's acknowledgement of the games and the competition that helped ground him. So that's where I went with that. A couple more to go. We've still not matched once. So
I don't think there's only one we may match on.
Well, this might be the one. D-Negs.
No, we're not matching.
Number 4. Oh, we're not matching? Okay, go ahead.
I'll let you go first.
I mean, Hulk Hogan. He's the face of poker's mainstream. And like Hogan had like the famous catchphrases, right? Negreanu's got the catchphrases, like limpin' is pimpin', like, all that sort of silly stuff. The crowd energy, like, he's a freaking icon. I think that when you think of poker, there's probably a 99.9% chance Negreanu's the face that pops into your mind. And I think if you said wrestling to somebody, there's probably a 99.9% chance that Hulk Hogan pops in your mind. I would also say that Hogan's NWO era is Negreanu with the whole more rake is better era.
Okay.
Right? There's that.
I'm into it now.
I mean, you talked about like the Sam Soverel might be the only heel on this list. Now, this is not my opinion, but I know what I see out there. And Hogan, at least in his recent years, like he had some comments and whatnot that people didn't agree with, politics or whatnot. There's plenty of stuff that Negreanu puts out there on social media that people don't agree with him on.
Sure.
I'm not saying what side I'm on. I'm just saying that there are plenty of people that are like, this guy's wacky, he's crazy now. So like he has that kind of parallel to him. I would also say that like Hulk Hogan is, I would say, I don't think he's like the best technical wrestler, but like he's the best wrestler. If you understand what I'm saying, like he's the biggest, the most famous, the most popular, right? We're like Daniel. I don't think he's like as technical as Jason Koon or a Chris Brewer or, you know, like, but he like, if you take all of it considered, he's like the biggest total package, which I think ultimately Hulk Hogan was. Like, if you look at Hogan, like his moves in the ring were like, what, he body slammed people and did the leg drop? Yeah. Like, it's not like you said Bret Hart, like, has the sharpshooter. He's known as this elite tactician. Like, that's not necessarily Daniel. But Daniel is like, if you consider everything, he probably has the overall ranking that's like the highest. Okay. When you consider charisma and all that sort of stuff built in, fanfare, whatever. So that's where I went with Hulk Hogan here.
Now, if you had said Hulk Hogan to Doyle Brunson, I would have probably been there with you.
But I'm keeping this within the context of the PGT.
I know. I'm just saying, like, Hulk Hogan's a little outdated. And he also turned on WCW. Big heel turn for a long time.
Okay, but Negreanu had the whole, like,
but this was
more rake is better whole nonsense.
This was a big heel turn. I just don't feel like that with Negreanu because Negreanu has always been the fan favorite. We've talked about this. We've seen in vlogs. He'll pose with every picture. He'll sign every autograph. He's always been that guy.
I would probably say the same thing with Hulk Hogan. And then once you start digging is when you might start disagreeing with some stuff. Where, like, I think on the surface, everyone just loves Daniel Negreanu, but then they're like, okay, maybe let me look at his social media and he might tweet something that you disagree with. And it might not even be like the craziest take in the world, but like you just might be on the opposite side because everything is so polar in this world.
I definitely would have liked Hulk Hogan to Phil Hellmuth, but
but again, I'm going with only these 8 people.
I get with you what you're saying, and I agree with some of it, but the reason
just because I use Hulk Hogan for Daniel Negreanu here does not mean if we do this list with all poker players, I can use Hulk. Yeah. I would plan on using Hulk Hogan probably elsewhere. Yes.
So the way I see Daniel Negreanu, fan favorite, signs autographs, takes photos, always happy to chat with someone. Great with the media as well. Great table talker. When I see table talk, I think promos.
Hogan was great at promos.
No, he was terrible.
He was great at promos. What are you talking about?
Maybe. But I think one of the best promo cutters and the fan favorite always for everyone out there, to me, was John Cena. So I have John Cena as Daniel Negreanu. Now, obviously Negreanu, bracelets, PGT titles, he's got it all. Cena, obviously, 16 or something world championships. That correlates. The table talk, the promo cut, that correlates. The fan favorite, that correlates. I don't see Negreanu as a bad guy, like you mentioned, but I can see that argument.
I'm just saying for that small period of time.
I can see that argument. John Cena had a heel turn for about 3 weeks. Otherwise, he has been the epitome of a good guy for his whole career, and that's the way I kind of see Negreanu. But that's how I paired those 3. If you talk about wrestling of the last 20 years, who is the number one person in wrestling, you'll probably say John Cena. You know, you could maybe say The Rock, but he's obviously been gone from half of that. Same with Stone Cold. Who's the number one, poker player of the last 20 years? You probably say Daniel Negreanu, maybe Phil Hellmuth. So I see those are the correlations. John Cena is at the top of the pyramid for wrestling. Daniel Negreanu, top of the pyramid on the PGT. So that's my comp there. Cena, Negreanu.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't disagree with that. So that's fine.
There was one comp that I thought, but I couldn't figure it out, was like Shawn Michaels. But I was like, I couldn't get this. I kind of cut that out.
And I could be totally wrong here, but I want to say that I've heard Daniel say that Shawn Michaels is his favorite wrestler or was. So immediately I went with that, and that could just be me misremembering shit. But that's where I immediately went. And I tried to make the comp, and I just couldn't necessarily do it.
I watched the Shawn Michaels doc the other day on YouTube, and I forgot that he had so much time off during when I thought he was just at the top with DX and all that. Had a couple of years off because of the back stuff. Obviously we had the whole Montreal Screwjobs. But yeah, I forgot that he was not. So that's why I couldn't give it to him, because Daniel Negreanu's, when it comes to PGT, here every day, all day, playing every event, while, the Shawn Michaels wouldn't quite work because of the injuries, the time off, etc. Maybe Shawn Michaels, Chris Brewer could have been maybe a slightly better comp than my hacksaw Jim Duggan. Because, hey, Shawn Michaels did have
also
a mullet at one point.
Something very weird, and maybe it swayed my biases or whatever, but I just remember there was this famous, I don't even know where the clip came from, but Hulk Hogan listening to a Young Jeezy CD in his car, and he kept like just replaying it at the beginning. He's like in his truck. He's like, it's just like a weird social media clip, whatever. But all I could think about, like Hogan in this truck, like doing this like kind of corny thing. All I could think about was 2004. Negreanu wins WSB Player of the Year, and he's driving that truck, and it was a segment.
Oh,
so I was like, this guy in a truck, this guy in a truck, and they're like, it's it's just like this like kind of cheesy segment. I was just like, this is what I'm going with. All right, we got two people left. We got Stephen Foxen and we got Alex.
It's Stephen Chidwick.
Yeah, Stephen Foxen. We got Stephen Foxen and Alex Chidwick. I'm just kidding. We have Stephen Chidwick and Alex Foxen. All right, let's go. Number one, Stephen Chidwick.
Stephen Chidwick doesn't talk that much, right?
Agreed.
But he's a stone cold killer. I know you don't want to talk about the podiums and the final table stats that I had, but
it's not that I don't want to talk about them. You can certainly mention them. I just was not going to list it as one of the four.
Stephen Chidwick has a very good podium finish rate once he makes the final table. He has, I think, 40 podium finishes from something like 12 or 6 less final tables than Alex Fox, and they're both tied on 40. Stone cold killer on the felt. It doesn't say too many words. So I had to think, okay, who's the wrestler that's really feared, very good, kind of like all destruction. So I first went with, it could be Brock Lesnar. I was like, no, not Brock Lesnar. I went with Goldberg, right? Doesn't really talk that much. Obviously had his huge win streak back in WCW. Chidwick's at the top of all our kind of rankings. Doesn't talk. Stone cold killer. That was my comp. I couldn't really get much else with the Stephen Chidwick one.
Okay.
So that was my one.
Well, I knew we weren't going to have the same pick here because you already mentioned this person.
Mm-hmm.
I think the nickname says it all. The excellence of execution.
It's a good one.
Bret the Hitman Hart. I mean, again, the nickname says it all. Stevie is a freaking tactical, surgical, absolutely, positively, just excellent, sharp as all hell. And I feel like that's how Bret the Hitman Hart was viewed. So I think that this is Stevie without a doubt. Now, you mentioned the, not talking a lot. I don't think Bret the Hitman Hart talked a ton.
He didn't.
He talked a bit, when he had to or whatever, but like he wasn't out there like the loudest or the most flamboyant person, other than the fact that he wore pink and had those glasses, where like Stevie, he's certainly not the loudest or the most flamboyant, but he's got the respect of everyone. He shines through bright with his technical mastery. And I also had the tie of like both are non-American, but they're not American in the sense that you might think they're American because like Stevie's UK, I know if you hear him in the accent, whatever, but still, it's not like it's a total disconnect. Whereas Bret Hart's Canadian, you might, if you didn't know, you might think that he's just American, right? So anyway, that's who I went with. I went Bret the Hitman Hart for Stevie. And then last one, of course, Alex Foxen. This one we might get right together. Go ahead.
Brock Lesnar.
Yep, 100%.
Yes, okay. Very similar.
I was torn between two people, but go ahead.
Who was your other one then?
Roman Reigns.
Oh, that's a good one.
And the reason why, I guess I'll just go.
Yeah, okay.
So the reason why I went with Brock Lesnar over Roman Reigns. So the reason why I was thinking of going Roman Reigns, let me say that, is because I just feel like Brock Lesnar is like so in your face, over the top, like rude, like, and I think Alex Foxen at the end of the day, like while he's like physically imposing, which Brock Lesnar is, Alex Foxen is like super nice.
Yeah.
Whereas like Brock Lesnar is like seems like an absolute freaking animal at all times. And I feel like he's like uncaged, whereas Alex Foxen is like as, big as he is, you got the whole past football thing. Like he's actually not like an insane maniac like I think Brock Lesnar puts on.
I think Brock actually is outside the ring very nice.
Yeah, sure. But I'm just saying like, but the wrestler persona, so yeah, I think Foxen is a bit more reserved like Roman Reigns is, but I just couldn't get over like the physically imposing nature, the build of Alex Foxen when he's sitting at a table, both physically, like actuality, which Brock Lesnar is, but then also like the way that he plays. Like I feel like Brock Lesnar wrestles, like he's certainly not the most technical, although Alex Foxen is very technical. Like he certainly understands everything. But I think Alex Foxen is kind of one of those guys where he builds in a little bit more exploit than just like theory. Whereas like, I think Stephen Chidwick, for example, is like almost straight theory all the time. He's like the perfect robot. Whereas Foxen, I think, can do kind of some different things, or tries to maybe has some live reads, like he's fucking staring at you. Like if he senses weakness for 1 second, he's just attack. So not only is his physical presence like overpowering, but his stare is overpowering. The way he plays is overpowering. If there was a great white shark in poker, it's Alex Foxen.
Oh yeah,
like just,
we should do animals next.
Like we should do animals next. Why not? But if there was I know everyone says like there's sharks, there's fishes, there's whales in poker, whatever. But like if there was a great white shark in poker, it is Alex Foxen for sure. He's a predator. Yeah. He strikes. The ounce he sense weaknesses, like he's just in there striking, and I feel like that's how Brock Lesnar like goes about wrestling. So I went with Brock Lesnar here.
The way I went with it was, we talked about past football backgrounds. Obviously, Alex Foxen, privileged tight end. Brock Lesnar played for the Vikings practice squad, I think. Yeah. There's that. There's the size of the table. The physical, just taking up the space. They both have kind of like a core outfit. When I say that, Brock Lesnar loves his jeans, loves his cowboy hat, loves his cowboy boots. Alex Foxen, short shorts, flip-flops, oversized t-shirt, and a hat. Seems like they're stable outfits. Don't talk, a lot of the stuff you also mentioned. One other thing with Alex, obviously married to Chrissy Foxen, Brock Lesnar married to Sable. There's that, little synergy there. And obviously the difference between, him and Stevie, the size, that's why I kind of sized up with Brock there. But yeah, that's the kind of at least we agreed on one.
All right, there we go.
I was trying to really work Mankind into this, and I had him on. I was trying to figure out Chris Brewer and Mick Foley, and I couldn't.
Same. I was going with Chris Brewer with Mick Foley too, but I couldn't get there because ultimately, like, there are the three faces of Mick Foley, and I just couldn't. I think like Mick Foley might fit.
It'd be Cactus Jack.
Yeah, I couldn't get there. I couldn't get there with him. So, but I also tried Mick Foley for Chris Brewer. So, if you guys have any thoughts, of course, you guys can hit us up on social media. You can leave it in the comments on YouTube. You can email us, podcast@pokergo.com, if you think we're wildly off. If you enjoyed this or not, who cares? I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I don't give a shit. I spent probably 3 hours trying to figure this out, which is way too fucking long, but I loved it. I had like 2 or 3 for each people that I kind of think like immediately jumped out to me. And then I was like, I got to fine tune like obviously who it is and whatnot. So yeah. The Sam Soverel one, he was one that I immediately, when I thought of like the antics and whatnot, I immediately thought of X-Pac. And I was like, yeah, but that doesn't really fit because like I feel like X-Pac was always like a sidekick.
Eddie's a really good
one. But he was always like a side thing. And so I couldn't because Soverel I think is like still like very, very good, and like obviously has won the titles and whatever. So, all right, that's that. Now time for PGT Fantasy. What we're going to do is Tim and I are each going to draft 5 players for the rest of the PGT season.
Oh, for the rest of the season. Oh yes, my God. I prepped this for just the bounty event.
Okay, but that's fine because at the end of each series, right, I'm planning that we do kind of a recap pod for each series at the end of each series. So on that, we'll have like the fantasy, re-up.
Yep.
2 changes are going to be made. One is that you can drop one player and add a new one. You have to drop one player. You have to add a new one. Okay. And then like if you drop somebody, I can't pick that player.
You have to drop it.
Yes.
Got it.
And if you drop somebody, I can't pick them up. So it's going to be, and that's going to go through the whole season. So like if you drop, let's say Sam Soverel after the Bounty Blitz, I can't pick him up for like something much later on.
Got it.
Right. So once the person is dropped, they're like done.
How are we scoring this?
I have no idea. We'll figure that out later. So yeah, you have to add drop. You can't keep the same 5. And then also, so from the other 4, so you drop a player, but then you have your other 4. You're going to select 2 players that are untouchable. Okay. In your mind. And then from the other 2, I'm going to have the chance to swap one of mine with yours.
So confusing.
Okay. So yeah, it's confusing. It's wacky, but whatever. And we can just keep it very simple. Like, I don't know,
most
points.
Points? Just points.
All right. We'll just do most points and we'll just keep a tally as we go. So what do you want to do for, let's just random number generate it again.
Sure. Random name generate.
No, random number generator. You're 1. I'm 2. It's 1. What do you want?
Jeremy
First
Ausmus.
pick or next 2?
Jeremy Ausmus.
Okay. Jeremy Ausmus.
Sorry, can I change that?
Sure.
Daniel Bryan.
I was like, what's he going to change it to? All right. I gave zero thought to this actually, in terms of like picking players.
To be like when you told me this, I immediately thought it was per series. So I was thinking of just players for Bounty Blitz. So I'm completely unprepared as well.
Yeah,
So-
you know, I mean, yeah, but you also might like, so in that regard, like, I don't even know why I'm telling
Like
you.
I would never have picked Ausmus for Bounty
Okay,
Blitz.
but you
That's my
you
point.
might also want to just like kind of lock him up
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
for the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
You know, so I get it. All right, I'm gonna go with Alex Foxen.
We doing Snake?
Well, yeah, but it goes. You get one, I get two.
Yeah, Snake.
So I got Alex Foxen, and I'm going with Jeremy Becker because I know he's playing the freaking Blitz, and then maybe I'll drop his ass after.
Why would you? Okay,
You're up.
that throws.
I have no idea who's playing the PGT Bounty Blitz, which is
Me
it's a
either.
first ever series. I have like Barcelona's just ending.
Yeah,
There's a Triton 1 series that's like starting or whatever. So like I have no idea like who's actually going to be here. I know Jeremy Becker's going to be there. Other than that, I got no clue.
mm-hmm. Chino Ream.
Chino, God, I honestly, you know, I was driving over here and I thought Chino Ream, I should draft him, and now I didn't, and now I'm annoyed.
And now I'm gonna take Sam Soverel.
Okay, that's a good one too.
How many we're taking? 5 total, right?
5 total.
Okay.
You've got 3. You've got Ausmus, Chino, and Sam Soverel. I've got Foxen, Becker, and
People are mad we haven't named this guy yet.
People are. I mean, I know, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with. Nick Schulman. And I'm going to go with... I'm torn here. I'm definitely torn.
Take him. Do you know you want Michael Mizrahi?
Adam Hendricks.
Wow.
You're up.
I was actually going to take Hendricks. Oh, I got 2 picks, right?
No, you have 2. Your last 2.
Just talk openly about it, I guess. I'm just unsure with Negreanu. Like he's
Yeah.
streaming.
But I have no
Like,
idea
is
what
he
he's
gonna-
doing.
He's probably skipping the bounty.
Is he
blitz.
even here?
That's what I'm
I have
saying.
no idea.
I know in October he's got like a golf tournament, so he may skip our PLO series or some of it. But like, do we get him for Masters or is he streaming up in Canada? Like,
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. That's why I haven't touched him. I mean, I would love to have Daniel on my team, but
is he
you know,
worth a pick now? Is he worth like the last?
he's like one of
round?
those guys, if you're doing fantasy football, you know, because football season's about to start, that you're picking and kind of stashing. For, you know, he's like, I don't know. He's like Rashee Rice. You're just waiting until the suspension's over.
I know I'm going to lose him for some events, but I need him for the back end. And take Jesse Lonis.
God, okay. I debated him, but I don't know where he's going to be in the world. All right, your last pick, pal.
Oh.
It's okay. Rich can chop out all this nonsense of the silence.
Maybe I should gamble on someone for the. So okay, so let's say I pick player X for the bounty for the bounty blitz. They cash for 500 points. I can just cut him, right? But I still get 500 points. He's part of my cuts.
Yeah. Like your point total is just going to like tally up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me King John Riordan.
King John Riordan.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have drafted him. What was I thinking?
I'm thinking he might
Christ
be here for
almighty.
bounty blitz, and he's going to play PLO.
What do you might be here? Where is he?
I don't know. He
He doesn't leave Las
might-
Vegas.
The amount of times I've seen an Instagram video where he's like in the suite at Red Rock throwing parties and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, so he finished like first or second in a charity poker event
Got it.
at Red Rock, and that was his prize.
Oh,
So then he was like, okay,
Oh,
I'm going to use this for my kid's birthday.
that's cool.
So he had that massive like penthouse suite with the wraparound balcony, like invited all the players. Yeah, that's why
Okay.
he had that suite.
Got it.
Yeah. This is probably
Who
a
are we
stretch.
thinking? Because
This is probably a stretch, but I'm just picking him.
I was thinking Chrissy Foxen could be a good one. Jim Colopy could be a good one. Michael Wang, they were ones I was like thinking.
You know what? I did write down Michael Wang just now, and I was about to say it, but I'm just let's Team Foxen. Screw it.
Yeah,
Kristen Foxen.
I'm okay with that.
I have no idea where they are. Wasn't she streaming the other day from like Asia or something?
Maybe she was streaming from Asia. Maybe she was here streaming.
Actually,
you can change it.
I might take that back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. I'm not locking this yet because she was talking about how they were like going to Asia, but they like booked a one-way trip. She was talking about this. I can't remember when she was talking about it, but she was talking about this. All right, I'm going with Michael Wang. Got to trust my gut is my first pick. Michael Wang. Let's go. All right, so no Negreanu.
No Negreanu, no Chidwick.
No, I have no idea where Chidwick is either.
Like
I would want to draft someone like David Coleman, like Mr. Second Place. Guy gets second place and everything. But is he coming back?
We need him back, then you can pick him up for Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. So I have Alex Foxen, Jeremy Becker, Nick Schulman, Adam Hendricks, and Michael Wang. You have Jeremy Ausmus, Chino Ream, Sam Soverel, Jesse Lonis, and John the King Riordan.
My biggest worry is Lonis. Is he going to like skip the bounty? Is he going to skip Pokemasters and then just come back for the PLO series? Problem I have for you is Hendricks. He's getting married.
Yeah, okay. So I'll drop him after bounty. See ya.
No, he's getting married during the Venetian event.
Yeah, I'll drop him after bounty.
He's not playing the Venetian, but he's a good one to have for the PLO.
Yeah,
so it's like, do you keep him just in case? Like, do you just hold on to him? So
we'll see how it goes. Okay. Your poker story could send you to Las Vegas. PokerGO and True Classic are giving away 15. That's 15 packages worth $5,000 each into a signature event here at the PokerGO studio. This will be a PGT qualifying event. So if you want to play in the PokerGO studio, if you want to play in a PGT qualifying event, then just head on over to trueclassictees.com/TCPokerGo. Tell us your poker story. Tell us how poker has impacted your life. And from there, 15 winners are going to be drawn. You will win a $5,000 package. It includes a $3,300 buy-in to the tournament, plus, airfare, hotel, that sort of stuff. It is completely free to enter, so don't wait. Share your story today at trueclassictees.com/TCPokerGo. Like the PlayPokerGO promotion, US only. Must be 21 or older to enter. So, of course, you can come out here and play in the event. The deadline to enter this one is October 27th. So, what's that? 2 months away, just about. So, October 27th for that one. All right. Now's the time for Tim to shine. What the heck is coming up on the PGT? This is what you wanted to talk about.
Oh, baby. It's busy. There's like 50 events.
There's a lot.
It's a lot of events. Starting Monday, September 1st, the inaugural PGT Bounty Blitz Series 6 events.
You shouldn't say inaugural.
Inaugural is the right word.
No, it's not. Because you don't know if it's going to happen.
Oh, it's happening again.
Okay. Buddy, you don't know if we're going to be alive next year. Okay?
I'll take my business and start the Tim Duck Tour. 5 different bounty events. So we're going to start standard knockout. You've knocked
six tournaments.
6 tournaments, 5 unique bounty events. 5K buy-ins, 2K of the prize pool goes to the bounties. First event, standard knockout. I knock you out, you give me 2K. Event 2, new. It's called an escalator. Different bounties as you progress in the tournament. Starts pretty low, 500, moves up to 1,000, then moves up to the rest. PKO, everyone knows that. Mystery bounty, everyone knows that. And the Quattro is very common in Europe, not that common here in America, but that's basically bounty start at 25% of the field and is worth 4x. So 8K bounties there. New trophy, cool trophy. It's the skull, the bounty, the logo is the PGT Bounty Blitz logo skull. Trying something new there with some 3D printing. Originally we're going to do a treasure chest, and that's why we have these like fake $100 bills. They were going to go in the treasure chest. So the trophy became kind of a bit more to it, but we made a late switch. We've still got the $100 bills with Maury's face on it and Kerry's face on it. So
and your face.
And my face on it too. Yeah. So it'll be a little prop. I'm assuming.
Do they know about those?
No.
Okay, that's going to be great.
So that's the PGT Bounty Blitz. Had a lot of requests for this. See how it goes. We're not really expecting anything crazy, but
you never know.
You never know. I wanted to put on the schedule, so we'll see how that goes. Another new event kicking off September 11th, the PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic. It's a $3,300 buy-in, 3 starting fights, $1 million guarantee. Each fight plays down to the money. First time this has ever happened. It's a $3,300 with a rake discount. $200 rake discount.
This is the coolest thing about this tournament. I plan on playing in this tournament.
Yeah.
Rake discounts, we've obviously done them on the PGT. I think other places have done them as well. But at this price point, I don't think anyone's done them.
No one's ever done it.
So this is great.
Get down on time, get in. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is one of those things that selfishly, the player in me says, I hope this catches on.
Mm-hmm.
I know it ultimately takes some money out of the operators' pockets, but I think operators do pretty well, especially with, in general, I think rake is kind of increased everywhere. So if they can, give a little bit back here with the on-time discount for this type of price point, I think it's incredible. Like, I would love to see this for WPTs. I would love to see it for other various price points, maybe EPTs, NAPT, whatever it may be. But the various price points or the various tournaments that hit this price point, I think it's great. So it's not a zero rake. It's still $100 to the rake, but it's it's
discount. It's
rake. 1/3, so it's great.
New event. We're seeing how it goes. Everyone's going to play down the money. Come back on day 2, which is Sunday, September 14th. I know some people out there that listen. Mr. David ODB Baker kind of said, "Well, why are we day 2 on Sunday?" Well, kind of we won a flight on Saturday, so we kind of have to do this. The good thing is, if you're missing some football, it will be on every TV in the Venetian. Plus, you'll also be on the money, so it's a good excuse to not be on your recliner at home. Sorry, ODB. Along with that, PGT Venetian Las Vegas Classic, there are also 3 5K high rollers. Got the rake discount there of $200. They are on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of that event. Now, that all leads into the Poker Masters. And for the first time at the Poker Masters, we are doing a multi-flight opening event called the Poker Masters $1 Million Showcase.
I named it.
Yeah, I think you did. 2 flights, $1 million prize pool guarantee. You play down to the money, come back on day 2. Also on the Sunday.
I'm going to play that one too.
Good. I hope you win.
So do I. And so do I. So do I. I usually always list action on PokerStake.
Not this one?
I will. No, I will for these 2 events. So I'm just saying it's not up there now, but stay tuned.
Self-promotion.
It'll be out there. Yeah, of course. Why not?
And also we didn't mention with the Venetian, but there's lots of opportunities for you to satellite in for I think $350. Poker Masters
$380. $380 at Venetian. There are the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yeah,
there are a satellite each day there, and then there's the 560s for the
Poker Masters. Yeah, there's a 5-seat guarantee on the 18th, Thursday, September 18th. Then there is some 2-seat guarantees on the Friday for that, and there's another 2-seat guarantee for event 2. 5K opening event. Never done this before. A little bit of worry, a little bit of we're getting a show, no sweat. But until we hit $1 million, we never know. Then the normal schedule. Normal schedule of the playdown of the final table starts. We have 10 events in this series. The opening event's a 5K. The second event is a 5K. Then we're up to 10s, 15s, finish with a 25K. Finale, most player that accumulates the most PGT points wins that purple jacket, 25K PGT passport. One little thing, I think we can announce this, right? The whole seat. Yeah. We're going to touch on the NAPT a little later once we get through the next series, but little kickback to you players at home. If you play the $1 Million Showcase, right, you will have a chance to win an NAPT Las Vegas 5K main event ticket. Random draw. Haven't figured out the cool way to do it yet, but random draw. Everyone that plays the showcase, just all the unique players, they'll be entered in to win a 5K seat into NAPT Las Vegas. And along with that, I don't know if you want to explain the Silver Pass.
The Silver Pass is valued, I believe, $3,000. All PokerGO annual subscribers will be entered, so current and new. We do have to figure out a drawing date, I guess, but we don't have that yet. But, if you're an annual subscriber, this is another thing that we're giving back for. And the Silver Pass, I believe, gets you out to Las Vegas to compete in a $100,000 free roll. I think there's 100 Silver Passes. Yeah. So there's going to be 100 people in this free roll. So, great shot to come out to Las Vegas, compete in the event. So that's very cool as well. So we are working with PokerStars on that. We worked with them and the NAPT Las Vegas last year. So bringing that back again, trying to give back to you guys out there. The events will be qualifying for the PGT, which is just, it's great all around. It really is.
Next up, PGT PLO series. We're having a little bit of drama with this one right now, but at this current stage, we've got 10 events. We've got mystery bounties. We got a PKO, normal bounty, same kind of schedule we did in March. That leads all into the Super High Roller Bowl 100K PLO event. Had 38 entrants the first year, the inaugural year. Had 42 entrants last year. This year, I think we can beat that. I think we get 46. So 100K PLO, that's kind of going to wrap up October. And then that leads into November, where, you know, NAPT Las Vegas comes to the Resorts World. There are 8 PGT qualifying events. 8, 7?
I think it's 8.
Yeah.
It might be 7. I don't
check
know.
one more.
It might be 7. Who knows? Whatever.
1, 2, 3.
All
4,
the 10K
5,
plus.
6, 7, 8. 8 PGT qualifying events at NAPT Las Vegas. Anything, as he mentioned, 10K buy-in or more. Now, if you guys can't get out to the other events, we're doing something special. We're running a NAPT Las Vegas leaderboard. So if you accumulate the most PGT points at NAPT Las Vegas, you'll win a dream seat into the PGT $1 Million Championship. That's basically a fast track, one-way ticket straight in the championship. Obviously, if you make it, naturally, that dream seat is just going to roll down that leaderboard. So, you know, on top of the 5K seat that we're giving away in the Poker Masters, also
shouldn't it be the other way?
No. Going to roll it down the NAPT leaderboard. So if Alex Foxen wins it, but he qualifies normally, it'll roll down that way.
I feel like it should be the other way.
No.
If Alex Foxen wins it, he should be removed from the overall leaderboard for Dream Seat qualification.
No, because Dream Seat winners start with only 100 big blinds. If Alex Foxen makes it, he may have more than 100 big blinds.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is also true.
I got it handled, buddy. NAPT Las Vegas, like I said, 8 PGT qualifying events. There's also a 5K main. There's an 8-game tournament. There's the NAPT Cup. There's a bunch of stuff we're going to try and play because we won't be doing too much work, but, you know, see how we can do over there. And then following that, we lead into the Texas.
I'm playing that event too, by the way. Of
course you are.
I'm playing it all.
I know. You're all in, I guess.
I'm the 163rd best player in the world. I need to represent.
Wait, 160. That is 168.
163rd. You keep trying to tell me short. I'm pretty sure you tried to tell me 165 once, and then you tried to say 168. No, it's 163, mofo. Come on.
All that matters is that I have more earnings than you do on Head and Mo.
Yeah, not wait until mid-November when I win NAPT Las Vegas.
I might win the win event this weekend. You might be up.
I'm going to be in the win event too.
Let's go. After NAPT Las Vegas,
that's going to be a crazy event.
We head back to Champions Club in Houston, Texas for the Texas PLO Roundup. $3,300 PLO main event. Had $1.4 million in the prize pool last year with $1 million guarantee. Massive event. Shout out massive expected. Again, 3 5K PLO turbo high rollers. And there's also a bunch of events if you're a lower stakes PLO player. There's 400s all the way up to like 1,000 PKO. Cash games are great. If you're a PLO player, you should be there. And plus, why do you want to be in Vegas during the F1? It's miserable. So come to Texas. After that, you know, you touched on it at the top of the show. We got the PGT True Classic Rags, the richest 3K no limit hold'em multi-flight event. Details coming on that. We're going to finish the season in January. PGT Last Chance, 6 events, all the way into the PGT $1 Million Championships. That is the rest of the schedule.
Sweet.
And you're playing at least, what, 3 of the events?
Maybe. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll play 20 of them because I won the first one. You never know. You never know what can happen. What if the poker gods decide to shine on me one day?
Yeah. They shined on you already.
Yeah. If they were really shining, my kings would have helped.
Sure, that is true. I think I'm going to at least do 1 satellite for the Venetian.
Yeah. I'm going to play the satellites too, for sure.
But good value. I'm not going to DBI, mainly because I have that football tournament. So I have to leave for a day.
Football, schmoopball. No big deal. All right. That's going to do it for us. His name is Tim Duckworth. My name is Donnie Pierce. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the wackiness of this show. But the PGT is right around the corner, coming next week. So let's go. It's going to be a fun second half of the season.
So you.